My dear friends, look at me for a moment. I want to ask you something, and I need you to be really honest with yourself. When was the last time you woke up and didn't immediately feel that weight on your chest? You know what I'm talking about, that heaviness, that sense of, oh no, here we go again. Show of hands, how many of you felt it this morning? See, almost everyone. And listen, I'm not judging you. I see you. I see the exhaustion in your eyes. I see how your shoulders are carrying tension right now, this very second. You probably didn't even notice until I mentioned it, did you? Here's what I need you to understand. Stress has become so normal, so constant, that you don't even recognize it anymore. It's like living next to a highway. At first the noise keeps you up at night, but after a while, you stop hearing it. It's still there, still damaging you, but you've adapted. You've learned to function despite it. But functioning isn't living, my friends. It really isn't. Let me tell you what's happening in your body right now. Your nervous system, this incredible ancient system designed to keep you alive, it can't tell the difference between a real threat and a perceived one. So when you check your email and see 15 messages, your body responds the same way it would if a tiger walked into this room. Your heart races, cortisol floods your system, your digestion shuts down, your immune system weakens, all because of an email. Really think about that. The Buddha taught us something 2,500 years ago that's more relevant today than ever. He said life contains dukkha, and most people translate this as suffering, but that's not quite right. It's more like unsatisfactoriness, stress, the persistent feeling that something's just not right, that you're not doing enough, being enough, achieving enough. But here's what else he taught us, and stay with me here because this is crucial. He said this stress has a cause. It's not random, it's not punishment, it's not your fault. It follows patterns, and those patterns can be understood. And if they can be understood, they can be changed. I promise you this, you don't have to live this way. Take a breath with me right now. Deep breath in, slow breath out. There, that's you, my friend. That's who you really are underneath all this weight. Word count, 405. Okay, listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you might be the most important thing you hear today. Ready? Most of your stress, and I mean most of it, doesn't come from what's actually happening to you. It comes from you fighting what's happening to you. I see some confused faces. Let me explain. This morning, how many of you hit traffic on the way here? Raise your hands. Okay, now be honest. How many of you spent that entire time thinking, this shouldn't be happening. Why is there always traffic? This is ridiculous. I'm going to be late. Why does this always happen to me? See, there's the traffic. That's reality. Metal boxes moving slowly. That's what is. But then there's your story about the traffic, your argument with reality. And that argument, that's where you suffer. Let me tell you something from my own life. When I was a young monk, maybe 26 years old, I developed terrible pain in my lower back. For 6 months, I was angry about it every single day. I'm too young for this. This isn't fair. How can I meditate like this? My practice is ruined. My teacher, he watched me suffer for a while. Then one day he sat down next to me and said, Tenzin, the pain is shooting you with one arrow, but you're shooting yourself with a second arrow. And that second arrow, that's the one causing most of your suffering. I didn't want to hear it. I really didn't. But you know what happened when I finally stopped fighting the pain? When I stopped telling myself stories about how wrong it was, how it shouldn't be there, the pain didn't disappear, let me be clear about that, but my suffering around it, that decreased by half, then more. This is what the Buddha called tanha, grasping, craving, this desperate clutching at how we think things should be. We want reality to be different. We demand it, and reality just is. It doesn't negotiate. So here's your homework, and yes, I'm giving you homework. I want you to notice, just notice, one thing today that you're resisting. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's how someone spoke to you. Maybe it's something about your own body or mind. Just notice it. Then ask yourself, what if I stopped fighting this? What if I let this be true just for right now? That's where your freedom begins, my friends, right there. Word count, 405. All right, I want everyone to do something for me. Right now, wherever you're sitting, I want you to notice, where is your mind? Don't overthink it, just notice. Are you completely here with me, or is part of you already thinking about what's for dinner tonight, or replaying something from earlier today? Be honest. I can see some of you nodding. Look, this isn't a criticism. This is the human condition we're talking about. Our bodies are here, but our minds are time travelers. They're everywhere except right now. And this right here is causing you so much stress, you don't even realize it. Think about it. When you're anxious, where is your mind? In the future, right? Imagining all the terrible things that might happen. When you're depressed or full of regret, where is your mind? In the past, replaying everything you did wrong. But the present moment, this moment right now, it's actually okay, isn't it? I mean, really, right this second, are you okay? You're breathing, you're here. Nothing is actively hurting you right now. The disaster you're worried about, it hasn't happened. The mistake you're beating yourself up about, it's already over. The Buddha taught us about sati, presence, mindfulness, awareness, and he gave us the simplest tool imaginable to come back to now. Your breath. Listen to me. Your breath only exists now. You cannot breathe yesterday's breath. You cannot breathe tomorrow's breath. Only this one, right here, right now. So I'm going to teach you something ridiculously simple. So simple some of you might dismiss it. Please don't. I've seen this practice change thousands of lives over the years. 3 times every day, set a timer on your phone if you need to. I want you to stop whatever you're doing and take 5 conscious breaths. That's it. 5 breaths where you actually notice the air coming in, notice the air going out, and come completely home to your body. When I first learned this, I thought, that's it? That's the great teaching? I wanted something complex, something impressive to tell people about. But my teacher smiled at me and said, Tenzin, can you actually do it? Can you take 5 breaths without your mind wandering to your to-do list? I couldn't, and that's when I realized how far I drifted from myself. Your breath is always here, always free, always waiting to bring you home. Try it with me now. 1 breath, just 1. Notice it completely. There, you just came home. Word count, 405. Okay, I need to tell you something that might shake you up a little bit. You ready? Take a breath. Here it is. Most of the stress you're experiencing right now, most of it isn't being caused by your actual life. It's being caused by the stories you're telling yourself about your life. Wait. Before you tense up or start arguing with me in your head, let me show you what I mean. You're stuck in traffic. That's a fact. Cars moving slowly on a road, but watch what your mind does with that fact. This always happens to me. Everyone else gets to work on time except me. My boss is going to think I'm irresponsible. I might get fired. What if I lose my job? How will I pay my bills? I'm going to end up homeless. Do you see what just happened there? Reality was one thing. Your story turned it into a catastrophe, and your body believes the story. Your heart is racing like you really are about to lose everything. I call this the second movie. There's the actual movie of your life, events unfolding moment by moment, and then there's the second movie playing in your head, your commentary, your interpretations, your predictions about what everything means. Let me be vulnerable with you for a second. Last month I was giving a teaching, maybe 50 people in the room, and I noticed someone in the front row checking their phone. Immediately my mind started, I'm boring them. This teaching isn't good enough. I've lost my touch. Maybe I'm too old for this. Maybe I should just stop teaching. Then I caught myself. I literally laughed out loud in the middle of my teaching. Here I am, a monk with 4 decades of practice, teaching about not believing your thoughts while completely believing mine. So I stopped. I took a breath, and I questioned it. Do I absolutely know they're bored? Do I know why they're on their phone? Could there be any other explanation? The whole story collapsed. Just gone. I continued teaching with peace in my heart. Here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to catch one stressful thought, just one. Write it down. Then ask yourself, is this absolutely true? Can I know for certain this is true? You're going to be shocked at what you discover. Most of your stress lives in stories, my friends. Question the stories. Watch what happens. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about reality thinking. There's a massive difference. The truth will set you free. But first, it might irritate you a little. Word count 404. Everyone, I want you to do something with me right now. Make a fist. Come on, really do it. Tight as you can. Squeeze. Notice how much energy that takes. Feel the tension moving up your arm into your shoulder. Hold it, hold it. Okay, now let go. Open your hand completely. Feel that relief? That's what we're talking about today. You know what I see? I see people walking through life with clenched fists. Not literally, but energetically, emotionally, mentally. They're gripping so tight onto control, onto outcomes, onto how things are supposed to go. And then they come to me, exhausted, burnt out, wondering why they can't find peace. Of course you can't find peace. You're holding on so tight you can barely breathe. The Buddha taught us about non-attachment, and wait, don't run away. This doesn't mean what you think it means. I see some of you getting uncomfortable. Non-attachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you become cold or distant or disconnected from life. It means you stop strangling the life out of everything you touch. Think about water for a second. You can hold water in an open palm. It sits there, beautiful, clear, nourishing. But the moment you try to grip it, try to control it, try to possess it, what happens? It slips right through your fingers. That's life. That's how this works. Let me tell you a story. 20 years ago, I had this vision for a meditation center. I planned everything, every single detail. I worked myself to exhaustion. I thought I knew exactly how it should be. Then it all fell apart. Funding disappeared, partnerships dissolved, everything I'd built just crumbled. I was devastated, angry. I felt betrayed by life itself. How could this happen? I'd done everything right. My teacher let me rant for a while. Then he asked me very quietly, Tenzin, whose plan was this, yours or life's? I wanted to argue. I wanted to be right about how wrong everything had gone. But I understood. I'd been gripping my vision so tightly that I couldn't see what life was actually offering me, something different, something I couldn't have planned, something better. Here's what letting go actually looks like. You do your absolute best. You show up fully. You give everything you have. And then, this is the crucial part, you release your attachment to specific outcomes. You plant the seeds, you water them, you give them sunlight, then you trust. What are you gripping right now? Really ask yourself that. What would happen if you just loosened your hold just a little? Freedom lives in the open hand, my friends. Word count 405. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. We live in a world that worships speed. Instant coffee, instant messaging, instant results. 2-day shipping isn't fast enough anymore. Now we want same-day delivery. We can't even wait for a web page to load without getting frustrated. And this obsession with speed is destroying your peace. It's creating stress levels humanity has never experienced before. The Buddha taught us about khanti, patience, endurance, the ability to stay steady when everything around you is screaming for you to react. And I'm telling you right now, this might be the most radical practice you can take up in our modern world. Let me be completely honest with you though. Patience is hard for me, really hard. I'm a monk, yes, but I'm also human. I get frustrated when my computer freezes. I get impatient when someone asks me the same question for the 5th time. I catch myself wanting enlightenment itself to happen faster. I mean, come on, the irony isn't lost on me. But here's what I've learned, and I need you to really hear this. Every single moment of impatience is a moment of suffering you are choosing. You're choosing it. Think about it. You're in line at the grocery store. The person ahead of you is fumbling with coupons, moving slowly. Impatience rises in your chest. This is taking forever. Don't they see other people waiting? I have things to do. Your blood pressure spikes, your jaw clenches, stress hormones flood your system. Meanwhile, and this is important, the line moves at exactly the speed it moves. Whether you're patient or impatient doesn't change the speed one bit. Your impatience doesn't help anything. It just makes you suffer while you wait. There's a beautiful teaching story. A young monk asks his master, "How long until I reach enlightenment?" The master says, 10 years. The monk says, "What if I work twice as hard?" The master responds, 20 years. Confused, the monk asks why. The master smiles. With one eye on the goal, you only have one eye on the path. Do you see? When you're constantly rushing toward the future, you completely miss the only place transformation actually happens. Right here, right now, in this moment. So, here's what I want you to try this week. Pick one daily activity, drinking your morning coffee, taking a shower, walking to your car, and do it slowly, deliberately. Notice everything, no rushing, no planning what's next, just be completely present. Patience isn't wasting time, my friends. Patience is refusing to waste your life in constant stress about time. Word count 404. Can I tell you what breaks my heart? It's sitting with someone, listening to them talk and hearing how absolutely cruel they are to themselves. The voice in their head, the constant criticism, the harsh judgments, the impossible standards. They would never, ever speak to another person the way they speak to themselves. And then they wonder why they're stressed, why they're anxious, why they're exhausted all the time. Listen to me very carefully. You cannot hate yourself into peace. You cannot shame yourself into transformation. You cannot criticize yourself into wholeness. It doesn't work. It has never worked. It will never work. So why do you keep trying? The Buddha taught metta, loving kindness, compassion, friendliness toward all beings, and all beings includes you. It especially includes you. How did we forget this? How did self-compassion become confused with being weak or self-indulgent. Let me tell you something vulnerable. For years, decades actually, I beat myself up for every tiny mistake, every imperfect meditation, every moment of anger or frustration. I thought this harsh voice in my head was keeping me on the spiritual path. I thought it showed dedication and seriousness. Really, I was just creating more suffering for myself. One day I went to my teacher, completely exhausted with myself. I said, "How can I be better? How can I finally get this right? What's wrong with me?" And he looked at me with such tenderness and said, "Tenzin, you're trying to grow a flower by yelling at it. Try sunlight instead." That changed everything for me, everything. I realized the harsh, critical voice in my head wasn't wisdom. It wasn't truth. It was just old pain speaking. Real transformation comes from kindness, not cruelty. So here's what I need you to understand. When you mess up, because you will, because you're human, that's exactly when you need compassion most. Not judgment, not "I'm such a failure," not "I should be better by now," but gentle acknowledgement. This is hard. I'm doing my best. I'm human, and that's enough. Try this with me right now. Put your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. Say to yourself out loud if you can, "May I be kind to myself. May I accept myself as I am." Does it feel weird? Good. That means you need it. You deserve your own kindness, my friend. You really, really do. Word count 405. We've come a long way together, haven't we? Take a moment and really recognize that. You showed up, you stayed, you opened your heart to these teachings. That takes real courage, and I want you to know I see that, I honor that. So let me bring this all home for you. What does it actually mean to live unshaken? Does it mean nothing bothers you anymore? That you never feel stress or fear or uncertainty? Is that what I'm promising you? No, no, that's not it at all. That's not even human. Living unshaken means you feel everything, the stress, the fear, the anxiety, all of it, but you're not controlled by it anymore. You don't identify with it. It moves through you like weather through an open sky. It comes, it does what it needs to do, and it goes. And underneath all of it, you remain aware, present, whole. Think about a mountain. I want you to really imagine this with me. Storms rage across that mountain's peak. Snow, wind, lightning, powerful, intense forces, but deep in the mountain's core, what's there? Stillness, perfect silence. The mountain doesn't resist the storm. It doesn't fight it or fear it. It simply remains mountain while the weather does what weather does. That's what these teachings are pointing toward. That mountain-like quality inside you, it's already there. It's what you are beneath all the stress, all the stories, all the constant striving. Now listen to me. I need you to practice these teachings every single day. Not perfectly. We've talked about that, remember? Just honestly, consistently, with patience and self-compassion. Some days you'll remember, some days you'll completely forget. That's okay. That's the path. That's my path too. When stress rises, and it will, I promise you it will, remember, breathe, question your thoughts, loosen your grip, practice patience, be kind to yourself. These aren't 5 separate things. They're one practice of waking up to reality as it is, not as you wish it were. You have everything you need already. I really mean that. The peace you're seeking isn't somewhere else, in some future moment when everything finally works out. It's here, now, in this breath, in this choice to meet life with awareness instead of fear. Go in peace, my dear friends. May you rise above stress May you live unshaken. May you remember who you truly are. Thank you for being here with me. Word count 405.